all of every one of us here end up in this home-based business the same way. We're going right through life in our chosen profession. Mine was a high school football coach. My wife Ashley was a stay-at-home mom with 4 children. And our interest into the industry was I've got my master's in nutrition. I love nutrition. So obviously I'm attracted to that. But that wasn't why we joined. We joined because we were living below paycheck to paycheck and we had no way to fix it. Like in the school system, winning more football games or state championships really doesn't change income enough to make a difference. I even went back, I got my master's degree. By the time I paid my student loan, it was maybe a net couple $100 a month gain. In today's world, that won't even buy a basket of groceries. So we're here, like most people, to try to create another income. It did work for us. It allowed me to quit coaching. It allowed us to live full time with residual income. And it opened my mind to the one thing that I think most people are not really even aware of, and that is living life on your own terms with time freedom, meaning you wake up every day and do what you want to instead of what you have to. You go out and you still work, like people will see me doing Zooms or working, but I work with a purpose of helping others change their life. I'm not going out and working to try to pay my bills next Friday like most of us do. And when you reach that point in life, you live on a different plane. It's a different vibration, a different energy, and it's a whole different enjoyment of life. I'm gonna flip this camera on. I should have good coverage from this point forward. But Susan, I want to go back and hit on the two products you just mentioned before I forget it. That omega Q, the omega 3 in that is one of the best omega 3s in the world. We get it from the very small fish, which means it has no heavy metals attached to it. A lot of the omega 3s in the marketplace come from the big fat blubbery whales and stuff that are full of heavy metals that are out there in our oceans today. So that's number one. We also use a different form of producing the omega 3. Most omega 3s are produced with a ingredient called hexane, which is a known carcinogen, and makes it, a known carcinogen you're putting in your body, thinking you're taking a nutritional product. We do not use that. We use some type of cold pressing to make that happen. It's a really, really, you'll know it because it won't be that mistakes a lot of omega-3 do that are created with the hexane. Going back to what Susan was alluding to, one of the number one issues in the world today is an omega-6, omega-3 imbalance in our bodies. These saturated seed oils, I always tell people there's like 3 things or 4 things you can do that will change everything about our health. One, drink water, no sweeteners, get good sleep every night, 40 minutes of movement, but right there in the top 5 is eliminate those saturated omega-6 oils from your life. And it's easier said than done because almost all restaurants cook in the saturated 6 oils because it's the cheap oils. Now that the Kennedy guy is in office, he's making it like people know how toxic it is to our body. It kills our cell membranes. It makes us fat. It creates metabolic dysfunction, insulin sensitivity. They are terrible for us. So you'll actually are starting to see some restaurants now make the change over to tallow or other things that aren't the saturated 6 oils. So that being said, we are constantly bombarded, whether it's peanut butter and crackers, whether it's driving through McDonald's, Burger King, Chick-fil-A, you name it, with these saturated 6 oils. So getting an omega-3 and getting that omega-3, omega-6 balance in your body is huge. It's the number one creator of inflammation is that omega-3, omega-6 imbalance. So I cannot tell you how important it is. And also, if weight loss is your goal here, one way to look at it is the good fats help you get rid of the bad fats. So the omega-3s are really good for weight loss. If you go dig into the medical research, omega-3s have a lot of medical research, published papers showing their positive this on like longevity and brain health. So if anybody's got things going on and decline in the brain, or you want to prevent those things, having a good omega-3 in your diet. By the way, you can get good omega-3s from fatty fish like salmon. There's other places to get it than just supplementation, but most people don't get it. And then the Rejuvenex has got 120 milligrams of green coffee bean extract, which is the energy you get from it. It's a great positive energy, but the secret to it, it's got a number of different flowers and herbs in it. I'm going to mention 2. One is L-theanine, which is actually a calming agent. The other is chamomile, By the way, L-theanine is a plant leaf. Chamomile is a flower. They're both calming agents. So when mixed with that green coffee bean extract, it's like a 6 hour energy. It's not like drinking a cup of coffee and it falling off of you in about 2 hours. This is about a 6 hour lift me up. I always say women find themselves cleaning the house and men find themselves doing yard work and not even wanting to once they take their 4 Rejuvenex, which is the dosage for the day. And anecdotally, we can never make medical claims, but anecdotally, we do have a lot of stories with ADD situations getting much better on Rejuvenex. I'll tell you one here in Florida. There's a Pilates teacher over in a little town called Niceville, close to where I live out here in the Destin, Florida area. And she joined us. And when she joined us, her son was a junior in high school, a straight DNF student, just could not pay attention, was on Adderall, all the things. I told her some of the anecdotal stories that I'd heard. I said, it won't hurt. Why not try it? It's a whole lot better than those energy drinks you tell me he drinks every morning. Let him try it. And about a weekend, he did it reluctantly, but about a weekend, he sent a text to his mom and said, Mom, I do not know what you're giving me, but for the first time in my memory, I actually understand what my teacher's saying. I can comprehend it and I can actually write it down on my paper. And he ended up graduating high school. He went in the Marines, and he always says he would have never got out of high school for junior found him. So will it work for everybody? Is that a cure? No, but we do have a lot of anecdotal evidence that it does play a factor there. So great point on both those products. Those are great two add-ons to the arsenal. But it's me rambling, Susan. I'll let you guys ask what you want to know, whether it's business, financial, how to build, what it takes, all those kinds of things.
I have a question on Rejuvenex. For that teenager, did he take 4 of them during the day and all at once or separate?
No, 4 is the dosage. So that bottle comes with enough to take 4 a day for 30 days. So that is the dosage, and that's what creates what you read the label. It's based upon 4. Some women, especially smaller women, found that only 1 or 2 gives them the lift me up they need, which means that bottle's going to last them a couple of months. But most bigger people, men, kids with that situation going, are probably going to take the full dosage of 4.
And it's recommended to do them all at once, or do you do 2 and 2, or how do you do it?
No, recommendation is 4 at one time.
Perfect. Thank you.
So switching to the business, I just got off of Zoom before I hopped over here, got in the car. My wife and I are actually headed to church tonight. So I'm riding in the passenger seat of the truck as I do my last Zoom of the day. But I was on the Zoom with this girl named Danielle from out in Colorado. She's been with us about 4 months. She made $10,000 with us her very first month, strictly using the Body Balance Skinny Drop system. She bought the 30 pack, came in at top pay, started posting, started converting. She says she walks around with a 6-foot rule, meaning anybody that gets within 6 foot of her, she shares her opportunity with them. But here's the moral of the story. That's not normal. That's not average. That's way above average. But here's her story. Her name is Danielle. If you don't know her story yet, her husband was in an accident about 3 years ago, and he's disabled now and cannot work. So they have children, and she's now the sole provider for the family. She has a full-time job. And as we all know, a single family income in 2025 in suburban America is just not enough. Like, you're going to die on the vine. You're not going to be able to pay your bills. So she actually found a different company in the home-based business world about 2.5 years ago that she started doing an addition. It did not work out as she planned. And then she found us about 4 months ago, and she is just absolutely killing it. But she's doing it not because she wants better. She's doing it because she needs better. So I always tell everybody, the people that show up here with a have to instead of a want to, their chances of success generally are way better, because this is a business. This is the business of ups and downs, of excitement and of disappointments, of good times and bad times, of great people joining and great people getting sidetracked. Like, all those things go on all the time in everybody's businesses. There is no exception. But the people that set a goal, I read this earlier today when I was doing my morning devotion. It said, a dumb man with a written goal will outperform a smart man with no goal at all 1,000 out of 1,000 times. So I encourage everybody here today to sit down for just a second and write out what you want from this. Do you want to be debt free? Do you want to pay some bills off? Do you want more cash flow? Do you want a better retirement? Do you want kids' education money? Do you want time freedom? Do you even know what time freedom is? Or are you just so used to going to work every day, all day to make a living that you don't even really know what living on your life on your own terms really means? This is a chance over the course of 3 to 5 years. I remind Susan Cameron of this all the time because she's hyper, as you guys know, Susan, she's hyper um um 24/7. I can't find the word I'm looking for, but she's relentless. So anytime her business retracts somewhat, she doesn't handle it well. She doesn't understand why she doesn't go from 40,000 a month to 50,000 a month to 60,000 a month to 70,000 a month, month over month over month. Business doesn't work that way. This is not an employment where we're getting a salary. This is a growing business, and some weeks are better than other weeks. Some months are better than other months. We just came through. There's 2 times of the year that in network marketing, things are traditionally slower. That is the couple of weeks around July 4th and the couple of weeks around Christmas are always going to be, generally speaking, a slower time of the year. So people like Susan, and there are other Susan type people on this call, when the business is not always going northward, don't let it bother you. Just make sure the activity remains the same. The attitude of positive attitude, speaking life into people remain the same every day. The consistency of your Zooms, your meetings, your posting on social media, all that remains consistent. If you keep a consistent activity with a positive attitude, I will just tell you the ups and downs will never not happen, but the downs will become higher and the highs will become higher. So like you're doing this curve all the time with, if you just draw a line going backwards, you'll kind of like if you look at the stock market over the last 100 years, there are times people think they're going to never have a chance to ever recover in the stock market. But anybody that just keeps their money in over time, it always seems to rise over the time in those good, solid companies that are built to last. So this is a company that's built to last. We're 300 million plus in revenue. We have 100 products. We're in 58 countries with official license. We have a license in mainland China, one of only 17 companies in the world to have that. You've got a chance here in a company that could possibly become the next $10 billion company in our industry over the next 20 years. You're on the front end of it. Nobody knows who we are, that you could absolutely set your family free forever. And the people that stick with it and do the right activity daily and control their emotions, they will change their life forever. That's what happened to my wife and I. When others got discouraged and got off the boat, I dug deep. Like I had discouraging days too, but I dug deep. I reached into my gut and I got up and I went again the next day with the activity I knew that created income. And sooner or later, the next right person enters your organization and the new leg and whatever you're building. And it really takes off again. And then it'll retract again. And you'll have to pick up and go again because, you know, like there's nobody on this call that would not be happy with Susan Cameron's worst paycheck. But Susan Cameron wants to make 100,000 a month. So when her check retracts from 40,000 a month to 30,000 a month, she's in a tizzy. So like everything is relative. So set your goals high. It's okay to have an emotional roller coaster with this. Learn how to handle it. But I will tell you, as I end this little rant and let you ask questions, the most important thing through it all is your attitude.
Yeah. Well, and I
Everybody
think that's it too, Todd. Yeah, I think that's it too, Todd. And a lot of people on here, and just like me, it's kind of like, right, as we build this team, and this is probably coaching for me as well, you guys. When I see my paycheck going up, it means your paychecks are going up, right? It means I've had this conversation with you to say, I want to stop teaching. I want to leave my nursing job. My husband just got put on disability and we lost half of our income. So, and that's probably good coaching, right? It is going to ebb and flow, but sometimes I think we take on that responsibility. I feel like, okay, the better you guys do, that's a reflection, like our whole organization is doing better. And sometimes, right, it might just slow down a little bit. But what I do see, the most important thing I personally see, you guys, is finding those new people on fire. What do you say about that, Todd? Because when the new people come in, like it gets everybody jazzed up, they're on fire. You know, Susan Frank is always like, you go find ignorance on fire, and not really that they're ignorant, just everybody's excited, they don't know what's happening, and you kind of plug them in. Talk to us a little bit about new people versus just trying to do the same thing over and over with everybody that you have. And maybe if somebody else wants to speak to that too.
Yeah, so I have a golden rule, Susan, and that is I appreciate everyone in my business beyond imagination. I count on no one in my business. If it is to be, it is up to me. So I'm doing 2 things constantly. The first thing I'm doing is I never don't recruit. So you never know who you're going to bump into tomorrow. I just actually was literally right before I got on the Zoom before this one, somebody just hit me up on Messenger that asked me about the drops, and I'm a converter on the front end. So I said, listen, I can sell you a box of drops, tell you all about it. But if you want to make money, that's my expertise. So they're 167, but you can pay $29.95 and you can join me, and I'll help you build a huge empire and create financial independence. And he said, well, that's what I really want. So then I hopped on both of these Zooms. I got to respond back to him now. I don't even know who it is. I didn't even recognize the name, but it's just, I don't get as many hits. It's probably as a brand new person because I've been posting for so many years, but I get them pretty consistently. I've signed up about a dozen people over the last 60 days because of it. And then, so I'm constantly recruiting, but that's not where the real wealth comes. If you want to create financial independence, what I'm going to share with you in the next 120 seconds is your secret. Develop a positive attitude and develop a skill set that you can do a 10-minute formatted presentation or three-way call that gives people an understanding without rambling or getting off sidetrack. And you're going to use that positive attitude and your ability to share this opportunity for your people that join your organization. I call it tap rooting, meaning you sign up somebody, they set up a three-way call, and that person signs up. Well, you didn't know that person before that three-way phone call, but the reason you were on that call is you're the one with the expertise, not the person that set up the call. So you're the one that's got to help now that person that just signed up on that three-way call. You just keep doing that in depth. For example, Susan did not know Ann. I cannot pronounce your name, Ann, so I'm not even going to try. So she didn't know Ann. She got somebody that led to Ann. Ann led to Billy. And then they led to Stacy, who just made president, which means she made $3,000 down in Stuart, Florida this week. So all of those people were through tap rooting through Susan's business. She didn't know them, but she was there every step of the way in presentations, in three-way calls, encouraging them to come to bigger events, get exposed to this. And if you get good at that, you're always going to be led to somebody. And this pay plan is unlimited. It doesn't matter if you sign them up or they land somewhere down there on your 100th level somewhere 3 years from now and explode out. It's 15% unlimited and a $2,000 weekly income per leg that explodes out. And the goal here is at least 3 legs, because that'll set anybody free, about 400,000 a year. That's what we call optimizing with 13,000 volume weekly. And then if you want to get rich, it probably takes 5 legs. And I think Susan now has got 5 optimized legs with a 6th one approaching it. So not weekly, but I think, she's done it definitely some weeks on that 5 legs. And it takes a minute to get all that stabilized. So when Susan got 5 legs, I think optimized for 2 weeks in a row, and then it did in the 3rd week, the world's coming apart. But it's not. It takes a minute for that to stabilize forever. It's like if we could build $100,000 a month residual income in 60 days, then why would any of us ever invest in other people's lives? Like, this is all a process. It's all about helping the next person be successful. And then Susan just said the most important thing. When your check retracts a little bit, especially your matching check, that is a reflection on everybody's income. So it's not a disappointment of your income. It's like, what do I need to do to help everybody's income get better? And that's the tap rooting. And then my mentor, who made $1 million a month in network marketing, used to always have this statement. He would say, it's way easier to give birth than it is to raise the dead. Meaning, don't go out there bugging people. There's one particular girl here in North Florida that joined us about 1.5 years ago. Her name is Jennifer. And she went and got in real estate. She got a little frustrated. I didn't hear from her for a year. I don't bug people. And lo and behold, on the Zoom I just did tonight, there she was on the Zoom. So she came back when the timing was right for her. So now tomorrow I will call her and try to start pouring into her and helping her build again now that she wants to do this business again, not me trying to talk her into doing this business again. So we'll never talk anybody into doing it. This is not something that falls from the sky. You have to have desire. You have to have a goal. You have to have the willingness. You have to have discipline. And most importantly, you got to have a positive attitude 24/7, because people are trying to escape the negative world that they're stuck in at their real job. So give them an environment they enjoy. Be their friend. Go do fun things. Go on these free vacations with them. And when you build that community of friendships, doing fun things and speaking life into each other, you never leave. Like, it's the greatest thing on planet Earth. I could never imagine going into the real workforce. And I'll say this in conclusion. I've got to go into church and let you talk, Susan. But I coached again for free. Before Partner Co, this industry had retired my wife and I for 8 years. So I coached about 5 years at a high school here in North Florida for free. I worked with the defensive coordinator and ran the weight room for them. And my daughter played basketball on some state championship basketball teams. I was a strength coach for that basketball team too, all for free. but I was enough a part of the school. I didn't teach in the classroom or anything. I just went over there every day and did that in the daytime. But I was enough around it to feel the bureaucracy and the negativity associated in today's education system. Negative teachers. Just the yucky bureaucracy that gets caught up in a lot of governmental things. That I knew that I could never actually do it full time again. I can't walk into that school building and be told what to do by people that aren't positive, that aren't speaking life into people. I'm not going to bow down to them anymore, ever again in my lifetime. I'm going to live life on my terms with residual income, God willing. And that's what I want for everybody on this call. You want to live life on your terms. You set the rules for your family, your children. We didn't want to send our kids to school and be brainwashed. We wanted our kids to be solid Christian kids. We were able to homeschool because of this business. Ashley was able to stay home and not work and ingrain in what we wanted in our kids, not what some government wanted in our kids' brain. And that's what you want for your family. I'm not telling you what to put in your kids' brain. That's up to you. That's not my job. That's up to you. But you want that choice. You don't want to dump your kids off and let somebody else build their brain while you go try to pay your bills. And this is a chance to do everything from home. One thing I love about Susan Frank is almost every time she's on a Zoom with me, she's either at the beach or at some kid's basketball or baseball game on her phone. She's living life as she builds her $1 million a year business.
That's great, Todd. And can you tell us real quick, a lot of people have a whole list of customers, and I feel like at times they get paralyzed in how to take that customer from a customer to getting them on a three-way call or getting them on a Zoom. Tell me what that invite looks like to you. Coach them on inviting and not trying to do it on their own, but like having the confidence just to invite, to get them on a call.
Okay. If you're in the body balance or skinny drop system, totally. Converting customers to brand partners early and often is the secret to creating a large income for your family. The longer you wait, the harder the conversion becomes. I convert the day they ask me what the drops is. I may not convert them that day, but the seed is planted that day. The script I used with that guy today, here's the script exactly. I've got it memorized. It said, he asked me, the question was, can I tell you a little bit about the drops? So I already know the next question, how much are they? So I just answered all three. I sent Dr. Crystal's 4-minute video. I sent the book, and I sent this. I said, they retail. I said they retail at $167. I'll cover the shipping if you want to buy it, or you can pay $30 one time. You can get 4 for about $100 a box. I'll show you how to sell the 3, the same post you saw that I just used, and you'll get them for free. And if you want to make money, I'll help you build an empire. That's exactly what I sent. And you can kind of word that the way you want to. But he said, he came back and said, I'm very interested. So what I will do from there is I will say, this is Pacific. Like I do this today. I am most people's 3-way call and most people's Zoom guy. I never do one on my own. Like I would never call this guy without somebody on a 3-way call with me or a Zoom partner with me. So I don't know this particular person, so I'm going to ask him a couple questions, what he does. And I'm going to say, when's a good time you can give me 10 minutes on a Zoom? When he gives me that time and tells me what he does, I'm going to find somebody in that same profession or same mind or same age bracket or another, because this guy's a man, another man that I know's well here, like a Reese Antley, and I'm going to book them on that Zoom with me. So I will not go in. I will go in with 1, 2, or 3 stories with me. As a matter of fact, I put this post on Level Up Life today. Susan Cameron is number 3 in the world. Susan Frank is number 1 in the world. This morning, for Dante in Orlando, Dante grew up in a network marketing family. She's very proficient. So Dante had one girl set up that we were converting from a customer to a brand partner based exactly on what I just told you. That girl already had somebody else looking, but Susan got me on there. She had Susan Frank on there, and then I got Reese Antley on there. So we had Susan, Todd, and Reese, all 4 of us talking to 2 brand new customers trying to convert them to a brand partner. And they both said they were going to join with 30 packs today when they got off work this morning on the call. So like the power, the one thing I never do is when they ask me to tell them more, I never give it to them. Under no circumstance will I explain my business on a first contact or whether that be a conversion or in person. I will always set up a time to revisit, either in person at a coffee shop, on a Zoom, or if they're not proficient or not comfortable there, on a 3-way call, in that order of preference. If I can be in person, I always will be. Otherwise, I'll be on a Zoom, and last case scenario, I'll be on a three-way call. And if I'm on a three-way call, I know some girls like Kim Gray that are really, really good at those three-way calls, and I will call them for help because that's not my expertise. I'm less good on a three-way call than I am a Zoom because I need it. I'm an educator, so I like to kind of keep things in line and formatted, and I need those slides to keep me from get rambling like I am right now. And then others are really good at doing that off the cuff on a three-way call, and I'll use those. So that's the answer. Get your scripts. Y'all have got them already. Susan's already made them all. Y'all use your 1, 2, and 3 scripts. I've seen y'all moving out there. Use them early and often. Go back to people. Revisit people that bought drops 6 months ago. Like, go after them. Set up three-way calls and Zooms. Try to get 5 tomorrow and book some proficient people in to help you and start knocking them in.
And that's a great advice. And you guys just block off your calendar. Say for the next hour, I'm reaching out to all of my customers. If I call you on the phone, answer. And we just always ask them, do you have an Android or iPhone? If they're Android, you need to go over to Facebook Messenger and do a three-way message over there versus if they have an iPhone and you have an iPhone, you would just do it right there. And then
my wife tells me I have to go, so I hop into church.
Okay. Bye. Praise
Bye,
Jesus.
everybody.
Bye, guys. I love it. And Wanda Shin, can we call on you? Are you here, honey? I did see you. Do you mind if we call on you?
Yeah, I'm here.
Awesome. Can you tell me a little bit about how you coach people their first week on the drops, like for their customers the first week on the drops, and how you guys are kind of doing the conversions?
Well, we're trying to learn. We're learning every day. So,
That's right.
I don't know what else to say. I mean, we're none of us are perfect. I mean, I feel like I just am learning, from I feel like I'm just learning from you and Susan. And sorry, I'm like, I don't like when, anyway. Yeah, I mean, we teach people to follow up with people just like you do, but I actually like I'm not is I mean Stacy's really good at converting people. And I feel like I'm learning from you and Susan and Todd on like converting early. That's probably been my weakness is I haven't converted early. I did with my leaders. I did with my leaders because I knew they were leaders, but like I haven't.
But you're saying the regular person.
I haven't been as good. I mean, I haven't. I don't know. I'm not great at that. So I think the beauty is that you can build a great business and not be perfect at all this stuff. You can have other people on your team that, who are better at things than you. Like Billy's better at stuff. Billy's got her hand raised. Billy, yeah. I mean, like we all have different skills. And so one of the things that we do all the time are three-way calls and Zooms all the time. That is what I spend all of my time doing.
What are you saying to get people to agree to it? A lot of people are like, well, I can't. I'm trying to get them on a call. And then they're like, well, I'm not being successful at what do you say? What are some, and maybe Billy, you can unmute if you want to, hon. What are you saying to get them on there?
Well, I think the question is you're asking them, like you're talking to them about like they're loving the drops. So then, and Stacy actually, if she's on, she should chime in, asking them, they're talking to you, you're talking to them about, would they be interested in saving money on the drops? If they're interested in saving money, okay, well, do you have any interest? There's a business attached to this, right? Do you have any interest in building a business and creating additional income? If they have any interest, then it's like getting them on that call. And we don't make a big deal about it. This is what we tell people. Listen, I'm still learning because guess what, you guys? I'm still learning. And I would love for you to chat with my friend Susan. I'd love for you to chat with my friend Billy. I'm still learning. So, I'd love for you to hop on and and then this is the key. When you get on a three-way call, the most important thing, I don't care how good you are, but I guarantee you when Todd Rowland gets on a three-way and he's the one that's doing the recruiting, he's the person getting the person on, right? So he would be the sponsor. Todd doesn't talk as much as all the other people. Like if he got all those other people on today, whatever, but let's say it's just him and Reese, and then the person Todd wants to sponsor. Todd's going to let Reese do most of the talking. That's the key. That is the key, because what happens is just third party validation. We all need it. So I know Billy had her hand raised. If she's still there, you should call on her, and if Stacy's around.
Thanks, Ann.
Sure.
Amazing. We appreciate you.
Yeah.
Is Billy, are you still here?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay, we can. Yes.
I'm just driving, so I won't put my video on, but I just want to add to what Ann said. I think the thing that we do that's really important in terms of like your first week in coaching a customer, I think it's really important to manage people's expectations of what their first week is going to look like. So my advice is lay out like the worst case scenario. Worst case scenario in your first week, you might not lose any pounds, you might feel bloated, you might feel gross, you might have a headache. Like, manage people's expectations also to where then when they feel great, they're like, oh, I didn't feel any of that. But they're also, when they also don't expect to lose 20 pounds in 7 days, because that's going to set people up for like a false expectation of what might happen for them. Those people that lose weight, that that can lose, like, the fact is a lot of people do lose weight in their first week, but manage people's under promise so the drops can over deliver, because then they're going to be more surprised, more happy, more in shock, more like, holy cow, I can't believe this, right? When they don't expect it. So that would be my, just like what I thought about when you said, in that first week, letting them know, like, they might not see any movement on the scale, and that's okay. It actually might take them 90 days. And then what Ann said about the 3-way calls, we started, like, the moment I get a question about product, like a dropper who's having, like, even say they're stalled, or they're constipated, or whatever the case might be, I always be like, you know what, I'm just going to open up a chat with, because she is just more knowledgeable on this than me. Those are questions that I know that I can answer generally, right? But when you open up that 3-way conversation, it opens up the line of communication to then we help that person maybe get through what it is they're going through, or if they've asked questions about becoming a brand partner. Sometimes it's like an icebreaker, opening up that Facebook group chat. And I never say anything about how, like, it's just my friend Ann. It's like not my friend Susan. She's like number one. She's number, like this or that. Like, don't make Susan or Ann or your person that's getting on the call with you, she's just your friend. And because they might have these big expectations of this person, like, I just kind of think, like, under promise so you can over deliver on that call. And that would be my biggest advice. But I think that icebreaker of even just a Facebook conversation, and don't even ask, just be like, I got to pop you into a chat with my friend Ann, and then go do it. And be like, hey, Ann, this is my friend Susan. She's been on the drops for 10 days. She's still getting some headaches. Can you help me troubleshoot? I know that probably Susan needs to drink more water. There's some things she needs to do, but it gets her comfortable talking with the two of us. So when we get to talking about the business, it's going to be no big deal.
Great advice, Billy. Great advice. And then whenever you talk to them, say if they're like, oh my goodness, I've lost 4 pounds. Yeah, I'm feeling good. It's my 6th day. What does that look like for you? Do you say like, oh, I want to include my friend to celebrate, tell her what you've been doing? Or how do or do you start talking about saving money, or how do you do it?
This is like Ann said, we're always learning. We need to get better at converting early. So that's something that we're working on.
Okay.
I wouldn't say that I'm an early converter. I'm bad at that. I'm working on that.
I gotcha. So what I did, you guys, is I have a new brand partner actually that lives at the farm that I just moved to. And so they've sold like 40 something boxes in 3 weeks. So what I did the other day, Saturday, I go to her house and I'm like, get out your list. And so we literally, she shows me, okay, Marcy Lou, Let me see Marcy Lou's Facebook. She has 1.4 thousand friends. Perfect. All right, what's the last message Marcy Lou sent to you? Well, she said, you know, she's sleeping better. She probably could lock in the food plan a little better. Perfect. Let's set up an appointment. Let's talk to her, see if she can meet tomorrow at 2 p.m. to troubleshoot, to kind of just give her some better ideas about how she can lock in her food. So then we like make an appointment for that. If we message somebody and they're like, oh, I'm down, you know, 4 pounds, she would write back, oh, amazing. That's so exciting. What do you think you have some friends and family that could also benefit with weight loss? Yeah, I know people on semaglutide. Perfect. I would love to talk to you tomorrow at 11 o'clock or 3 o'clock on how you could share these with other people and also get your drops for free. And so we did have some successful appointments like that. We also had some people that are ghosting us. Like that is a little bit of the fact of it too. So we had an appointment with a farrier, with a horse farrier. And she said Saturday night, I had an emergency. You know, the emergency. I had an emergency come up. So she messaged her again, crickets. Messaged her again, crickets. So today I saw that Todd Rowland on Level Up Live with Stacy's post said the horse dentist made it to officer. So I saw that, I fired it off to her. I was like, send it to her and say, horse people are doing this in a big way too. When can we meet this Saturday night? Because I know how this lady's schedule is. And the lady's like, oh, it's amazing. Okay, great, let's meet. So you just never know. It's definitely right. We're all learning, and who knows what's going to trip somebody's trigger. And when people feel the pressure, I mean, even when Susan Frank was trying to reel me in, y'all, I was trying to run away. I was like, no, I don't want this business. She'd be like, let's meet. And I probably ghosted her, to tell you the truth, a time or two, like trying to run away from her. So that's just part of it. And, you know, when Todd said he doesn't chase people, I don't necessarily believe in chasing people. However, people don't know what we have. They don't know what is on the other side of this. So I believe Letty's on here. So Letty was a friend. Actually, she sold me a $3,000 pack for this other company that totally flopped. It was a leptin company. I've been after weight loss for years, you guys. And so she sent it to me. We did a social media campaign. Guess what? They manufacture the product. Boom. It is a bust. Everybody's gaining weight. I gained 14 pounds. I needed the drops to get off the weight from that. And Letty and I really didn't even know each other well, but I knew we were all in the same emotional healing circles and all kinds of stuff. But God just kept putting it on my heart to reach out to her. Letty, you need to know about these drops. Letty, I see that you have Graves' disease. Letty, you know, it was probably about the 4th or 5th week. I was like, why do you keep telling me, God, to reach out to this woman? Like, why she's just going to keep rejecting me. So fast forward, one day I reached out to her, and I don't know why I said this, but I heard to say to her, are you ready to do this? And I literally messaged, are you ready to do this? This lady's told me 5 or 8 times. I don't even know how many times. Just so happened she was walking out of a doctor's appointment and they said to her, we don't think we can help you. We don't know what else we can do for you. And she looks at her phone and there's that message. And she said, yes, I'm desperate. She got on the drops. I check in with her day 2, day 3. I'm checking in with her. Letty, what's going on? And she said she was so excited that she was able to vacuum her house without needing to sit down. Maybe she even did a couple of loads of laundry. I mean, when you have Graves' disease and you have that many thyroid issues, you guys, you feel terrible. And so she felt like she got her life back. So if God keeps putting, this is my advice. And when you say, like, what do you do? How do you do it? Literally, I listen. That whole wake up in the morning, God, who would you have me to help today? God, who on my team wants more? Who on my team? And so when I'm messaging you girls and guys and saying, hey, who do you have? What I'm saying, whose life can we go change today? Who's been praying for this? Who, if you open your mouth, you can give them better and give them different? Because these drops, chills all over my body, gave me different. You guys know toxic mold was part of our story. We live in this river house. It's practically on a swamp, right? Part of maintenance for this house is I shove out $4,000 or $5,000 to have this house fall once a year or twice a year. Without this income, my husband was losing it. Oh my gosh. I mean, when you go to your husband and say, I need another 5,000, I need another 2,000, I need another 1,000 to meet with this doctor. So my why is very big. I homeschool. I want the best there, the best tutors, the best school, people to help me. I want any medical care that I need, my child needs. I needed a daggone hypoallergenic dog, and I wanted to pay $1,500 to get this dog trained because we are terrible dog parents. Like, we'd have the dogs, they run away because they're always a reflection of the owner. So this dog is so good. She'll sit at a doorway, and until you say, okay, she literally will not run out of the door, you guys. She will not run down the stairs until you say, okay, Jen, that's a pretty good dog trainer, right? Like when they can do that. So I just say that, you guys, to say, yeah, we are about momentum and all of that, but just keep it in mind. And like Todd says, you only need one, you only need two, you only need a few people to come in here and want this in a big way. Kimberly came in here under Barb's team and under Rachel, and just like Rachel and Kimberly, they both wanted different. Barb wanted different. Barb just brought her dream house, you guys. And when we started working together, she didn't have an indoor kitchen. This was just last year. This wasn't forever. So does it ever always happen that fast? No, but can it happen that fast? Abso-freaking-lutely. So lock in, rely on people like me, rely on people like Ann, like Barb, like Letty, like Kimberly, like Debbie Hawcom. Tori, all of you guys are just, everybody is up leveling. And the beautiful thing is, you guys, we're all brand new. In the grand scheme of this, we are all brand new. And this is all new for us. So we're so proud of each one of you guys. Lock into Todd. Anything you need, that man will help support you. Susan Frank's incredible. This company is just absolutely amazing. And thanks for giving your time on Tuesday night for yourself, for your business, and keep stepping. Just keep stepping and know that what we're doing here is making a difference for people. And this is an incredible company, incredible products. And yeah, my son no longer has chronic pain. You guys, he had chronic pain from the age of 2 with Lyme disease. And after being on these drops for a week or two, literally did not have chronic pain. Can we guarantee that? No. Is that God's major blessing? Yes. So I remember when I'm thinking, oh, pity party, nobody's wanting my drink. We all go into that. Don't think I'm any different. Don't think Todd's any different. We all have that chatter, but that is the enemy. Get behind me. This is all Barb always says is God is on the move. This is a ministry. You guys, it's incredible. So I'm just beyond blessed to be here with every single one of y'all. And I'm so thankful for every one of y'all for showing up. And it about brings me to tears. I love each one of y'all to pieces. So thanks for coming. 5 minutes, get off and see if you can get a customer on the phone. Zoom starting in 5 minutes to show this business to. Okay. All right, you guys. Good night. Good to see everybody. I'm going to bye Denise. Bye, Melissa.
Love you, Susan.
Thank you.
Everybody. Bye, Betty.
Good night. Good night, Susan.
Hey, Bruce. Bye, Bruce. Bye, Marilyn and Lori and Leanne and Betty. Michelle and Vicky. Look, I love seeing who's here. Linda. Bye. Zoom user. Good to see you. Patsy, Melanie. All right. Bye, guys. Mwah. Y'all are amazing. Keep stepping. Work your business. It's so worth it in the long run. We're doing it together. We're better together, right?
Thank you.
See ya.